Hi guys, it's Jake here at Canadian Cutting Edge, and it looks like I just have Tantos lately, eh? Loads of Tantos. This is a Tanto from GearBest. Manufacturer is Y-Start. I just love Y-Start's knives, so when I saw this come out, I asked for it, and I got it this summer. When I saw that it was Y-Start and GearBest had it, I had to ask for it, and I ended up getting it in the middle of summertime. And now that I'm back home and I'm doing all these reviews and I'm just enjoying it. I'm having a great time. This Tanto is a flipper. We've got ceramic bearings in this knife. It comes in a satin finish or a black wash finish. If you're interested in this knife, even if you're not, stick around. I can honestly tell you, I am just as happy when somebody decides not to buy a knife because of my review, when they were, on the fence beforehand, as I am for the guy or gal who decides, hey, I'm going to buy the knife because, Jake told me something that helped me make up my mind. I really don't care which way you go. My main goal is to give you information that helps you to make up your mind, especially if I can give you information that you couldn't find anywhere else. That's what makes my day. That's my goal as a reviewer. The model for this knife, as you saw in the thumbnail, is LK5011, and it's a full-size folding knife. We've got 440C stainless steel, Rockwell hardness of about 57 on this. The black wash is really nice. One little thing I was disappointed, the pictures show that it says Y-Start on the blade. The blade on the one I got is completely void of any writing at all. So and same with the handle. So this is a completely blank OEM style knife. I just have to assume that it's made by Y-Start because GearBest tells me that it is. And I've got no reason not to trust them. The material for this handle is titanium, TC4 specifically. And I believe it's titanium, especially because they've got a stainless steel lock bar insert in there. There's a steel pocket clip, steel blade, and of course you've got steel screws. What's the shape of this blade? This is an upswept Tanto. So good sharp angle here for your Tanto. Saber grind. You could, if you were feeling like you wanted to file for a while, you could turn this thing into a Scandi grind. It's got right about the right depth. This way, you'd just be grinding for a while to get it down. And then, of course, you'd only have the flats as black wash and everything else would be satin. You've got, it's not like a stone wash. It's just a black wash. Well, very slightly like a stone wash. There's not much of a stone wash type pattern on there. Then the titanium also has a kind of black wash on it. And of course, the high spots are kind of wore off, and that lets you see the scalloped pattern in there. I really like that pattern. It helps give you a good grip on the knife. There's no jimping anywhere, and so every little bit helps. And the finger protector has a little bit of jimping there, well, the flipper, whatever you want to call it. So the flipper there's a little bit of jimping right there. And it really helps to be able to actuate the flipper when you want to open the knife. We've got a very generous lanyard hole back here. You can fit some pretty thick paracord in there if you want to. We've got flat screw heads, so you can use a flat screwdriver on these. They don't pass all the way through. I'll give you. And then at the pivot, we've got this Y-shaped. Like a Phillips that's missing an arm. And I can use some of the security screws that I've got. When I was in the United States a couple years ago, I went to Harbor Freight and I bought a kit of screwdriver heads, security ones, and they've got these 3 angled shaped drivers in there. Of course, it comes down to a point like a Phillips screwdriver is, but On one of them, I just filed the end down so it's really flat and it can fit in here, but I don't need to. I just took out my flat screwdrivers, my standards, and I found one that fits really nicely, snugly in that groove, and I was able to take this knife apart without using any special tools. So don't let that scare you off. You can take this knife apart using standard screws as long as your drivers are, you have a variety of sizes of drivers to fit in there. And you won't be damaging the screw. It works just fine. The ball bearings in here, they are ceramic. Here's a picture of them, of the inside of the knife. I really like it. The action is very smooth, very easy to actuate, very comfortable. There's no problem. You can use the light switch method. You can do the press down and make it flick with a little more authority. It's very easy to flip this knife. Very, very smooth action. I like that an awful lot. Let's get the sizes out of the way. Cutting edge measured from the sharpener's choil to the tip of the blade, 8.7 centimeters, 3.4 inches. If you want to measure the blade, well, you're going to measure from the tip of this handle here to the tip of the blade. It's actually a little smaller than the cutting edge, 8.5 centimeters, 3.3 inches. The blade thickness is 3.4 millimeters. That's 0.136 inches. The thickness of the edge behind the grind, so right where that fine, the little bevel is, right at the edge of it, it's a little thick. It's 0.78 millimeters. I'd like it to be closer to 0.5, 0.6. That equals 0.03 inches. So it's a little bit thicker at the edge than I'd like, but it comes quite sharp from the factory and it cuts quite well, and I'll demonstrate that later on. The handle length, 12 centimeters, 4 3/4 inches. The grip area, 10.1 centimeters, 4 inches. The handle thickness, not counting the pocket clip, is 1.1 centimeters, which is 0.45 inches. The handle height this way, or depth, whatever you have, right at the end here, it's 0.9 of an inch. That's what, 2.4 centimeters. And it's just slightly less down at the pivot end. So it's just slowly getting thicker as you go back. The weight of this knife, 110 grams, 3.9 ounces. Perfect. It sits in the pocket very well. And it clips in there very, very easily, very well. Works well, works good, looks good. Yeah, and you've got just over an inch, like 1.1 inches right here. Easy to carry, comfortable. Pocket clip works very well. The knife sits in there securely, doesn't come loose. Doing action, going through the bush or whatever, going for long walks and stuff, whatever I've done, it hasn't moved at all. I do have a little beef with the pocket clip in that you've got over an inch of the knife sticking out of your pocket, 3 centimeters or so. I really wish they would have put on, a pocket clip of this kind of style. If you've got that kind of hole, you've got that almost a rectangle, but it's round on the other end. A lot of knives have that kind of thing. This one has it, but it's the other way around with the round end at the bottom and then square. But you know how it screws in and then it comes out and over? So if you line up the screws at the same spot, you can see, this will go up to here in your pocket, whereas this one only goes up to there. So you have a lot exposed, and here you have a little exposed. So you can imagine if it had that other kind of pocket clip, you'd have less than a centimeter sticking out, a quarter of an inch or so. But if you guys have not been at my channel and you're looking at this and you're saying, hey, what is that cool knife? This is also at GearBest. I have a review of this. This is the Sanrenmu Land 9046 Sandvik 12C27 steel. It's only $16.42 US. You've got a little hex screwdriver here. You've got a little bit of a cordage ripper there. And, glass breaker back here. This is a big, chunky, safe knife that you can do almost anything you want with. It is a very strong, secure knife. So I'll put links up here in the corner so you can watch the video for that. And I'll put links to purchase this at the bottom. Back to this knife. How much does this thing cost? It's $57.46 US. That is 71.41 Canadian pounds, British pounds, 44.51. Euros, it's 48 euros, 0.54. So yeah, the price is a little bit up there compared to a lot of the knives I've been reviewing. It's up there compared to this land, of course. GearBest has the best price I could see for this. I didn't take a super long, extensive look for it, but you know, it's a good price. And if you like this, hey, go ahead and go buy it. It's got a option between satin or black. There's another knife that looks very much like this, the LK5011. Hopefully I'll be reviewing it in 5-6 weeks or so. And it's got, instead of a Tanto, it's got an upswept, sort of like Persian style blade on it. But the handle is very much the same. Very much the same price too. What's the pros and cons of this? Pros, flips wonderfully. Ceramic ball bearings just are awesome. It flips very, very nicely. Steel lock bar insert, that's a really good thing. I'll show you a picture of that from the inside. It's got an over travel protection on that lock bar insert. So if you can just, I don't know if we can get it the light. You can see that silver right there. So you can't push the lock bar any further than that. You have to stop. Blade play on this thing? Nope. No blade play. It's solid back and forth, up and down. When it's partly open, same thing, solid. Lockup is very good. Exactly what you want a brand new knife to be. Blade centering when it's closed, perfect. So great fit and finish on here. That's another big pro. How they built it and how it functions, great. Wonderful. I can't say enough good about it. Materials, I wish it had better steel. That's one of the cons. For this price, I don't expect to see 440C steel. At least D2, you know, something better. 440C isn't bad. I'm not trying to say that at all. 440C is a good budget steel. But, you know, if they can do Sandvik 12C27 on this thing for $16, they can certainly do better than 440C on here. You know, it's totally different companies, I think, manufacturing and everything, but still. Let's do some cutting and show you how well that works. I've got that Ethernet cable, you know, network cable right here, and let's see if we can cut through this. And I got to get on an angle so I won't cut myself or cut something else. Cuts through that just fine. There's 8 strands of copper wire in there, plus all the sheathing that's on it. Okay, let's see if it'll cut through with the tip of the blade here like this. That works, no problem. So it's a good sharp blade. And yeah, you can just cut through that stuff, no problem. Cuts well. Let's see what else we have to cut. We've got some printer paper here. This is a bit wrinkly and it's a bit humid in my basement right now, so it's doing a bit ripping instead of cutting. I've been trying to get into the habit. I want to do my cut tests when the knife blade is brand new so I can show you how it cuts from the factory. But instead, I'm giving you another cut test after I've used it for a while, so it really doesn't tell you an awful lot. It is super easy to sharpen this blade. Any of those sharpening systems that clamp on, you've got this flat section all the way across, and you've got a flat blade. It's got a very slight belly in there, and actually a very slight belly there as well. Very, very slight. So easy to sharpen this blade. No complaints there at all. I like this knife. I've got those two little beefs. Well, they might be big depending on who you are. You make up your own mind. Remember, guys, I hate having to say this. Some guys just don't get it. I'm a reviewer. Do I sound like a salesman sometimes? Hey, if I really love a knife, I might sound like I'm trying to sell it to you. That's not my job. My job is to give you an objective review, tell you what's good about it, tell you what's bad about it. But I'm human, so I will tell you what I like about it too, like my own personal feelings. That's just normal. But I'm not telling you that you should buy it. You know, that being said, if you do want to buy it, you can support my channel by using my links in the description below. Those are referral links. I get a tiny commission. I'm just trying to share information with you. But I do live on a disability pension. I've had surgery on my knees, 13, 14 times in my lifetime. I live with chronic pain. I can't do other employment anymore. It's just how life has worked out for me. So this is what I do, these reviews, not only to pass the time, but to give myself a tiny little bit extra in my income. So thank you so much for supporting my channel. And thanks for liking, subscribing. I'm going to have 2,500 subscribers soon. When that gets close, I'll be doing a giveaway announcement, and we'll be doing giveaway. And my giveaways are pretty good. Just ask anybody who's been around the channel for a while. So thanks so much. I'm babbling and rambling on now. Canadian Cutting Edge saying, remember, always cut towards your chum. That's an old English word for friend, buddy, pal, the guy next to you. Cut towards your chum, not your thumb.